Welcome to Straight from the Muzzle, folks, where we are anything but straight. My name is Space.
And I'm Star.
And we welcome you to our episode, which is about what today?
Protogens and primogens.
But before we go into that, you had just mentioned before we started recording a really interesting species. And so we thought we'd do an honorable mention because it's something that we should mention. I'm surprised they're not as popular as protogens, but why don't you tell us what these are?
Okay, cool. So I think over the past couple years, I was scrolling through Twitter and I happened upon these really cool images of this species that somebody had created, and they were called amp wave. And they are just so gosh darn cool. So I guess in relation to protogens and stuff, they are very techy. So whereas they look kind of they like a normal animal, but they have pieces of tech on them. So for amp waves, they have pieces of wall plugs and aux cords and stuff like that. And I'm these are super cool. So instead of claws, they have little, oh shoot, what do you call them? Just what are the end pieces on plugs called?
The female end?
No, not
No, the male end.
Yeah, but what are the little
prongs?
Oh, prongs, there you go. What did I say?
Progs?
I could not. Yeah, I don't know. They're really cool. Check them out. I can't remember who made them on Twitter, but they have a whole website. So if you guys ever wanted to check them out, it's just the ampwavespecies.com, and they have a whole listing on there. So species variations and what is open to make and what's uncommon. Variant types that are closed to the public, but it's really cool because there's basic, aquatic, feathered, micro. I guess the ones that are closed to the public are glitched, beast, ghost, and celestial, but all of them look really cool, and it kind of makes me want to make one. So
I definitely want to have one because I just feel like something is calling Space to become more techie than he is. He used to be really techie, and now he's just a bear, and I'm I think I need to go back to him being techie again. There needs to be I don't know, a dual personality to him.
I feel that. I've been feeling that with my recent persona kind of changed because although I still identify as Boomy or Star or Boomstar, I have kind of fallen in love with that persona that Deer made for all of us when she made the individual personas based off of those mood boards. And I'm oh my god, I just connected with that one so well. I'm this is me. So
I just realized that the amp waves have zippers for mouths.
What?
Yeah, so their mouth is kind of like a zipper, but at the very edge of each, there's a zipper doohickey.
Oh,
I don't know if it's because their mouths are zippers or whatever, but it's kind of cool.
That's cool.
One thing it'd be really funny is if someone created a suit, and so their finger paws were the prongs, but they laid a taser in one of them. So as he goes to hug, someone should just go back away from me. I'll shock you.
No hugs.
No hugs.
Oh my god.
Just little lightnings coming between both hands. I'll be oh shit.
Oh my gosh, yes. Actually, I was just looking at one of the pictures of these amp waves, and they look like they have speakers on their thighs. That's very reminiscent to Beauty the Beast.
I was just gonna say,
their suit. I love,
and their ears too. Their ears also have speakers too, which is really cool.
Yeah.
Unique. Beauty the Beast is not my favorite, but their creativity on how they created their stuff is pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, as for me, would I fall in love with that? No, but I just like the fact that it's so techy. That's just cool with me.
It is very techy, and I like that they have their own sound system inside their suit, and they can just walk around just blasting tunes all day.
Oh yeah,
I love
that's
it.
so cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, now on to our main topic, protogens and primogens. I did not know that there was such a thing as a primogen until I started doing research on protogens. And I was well, I feel if we're going to talk about protos, we need to also have the prima in there as well. It just makes sense.
I think they also just kind of go hand in hand anyway, so.
Oddly enough and funny at the same time, primogen is also a medical term.
Is it really?
Yeah.
What is it?
Or it's like a product. So let's see, primogen. If I scroll down enough, it's Primogen advanced allograft. So they're basically implants. They're like bone grafts and stuff, but that's just one of the types of stuff they have. And I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
Huh.
So interesting. It's still kind of techie, I guess.
Interesting.
A little meshy.
Would that make me techie? I have 2 screws in my leg. So
I suppose it makes you bionic, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The bionic woman.
Cyborg.
No.
The bionic lesbian.
The bionic lesbian.
I'm sorry. I thought about something. Okay, nope. I'm just gonna let you go. Go ahead.
A super gay bionic woman.
Just comes bursting through the wall. I'm here to screw.
It just like bursts into a wall full of like regular nerds, and they're just like, oh my god. This is my best day ever. You know, just
oh my god. That's great.
So terms that we're going to be going over in this particular episode, there's 3 of them. One of them's not as prominent, but it is there. The first one is open species. Now, we talk a lot about open species in previous episodes, but I always get confused between the two, closed and open. So an open species is a species that can be created freely. So it's up for grabs. Anybody may use the main species reference sheets to design their own characters for that species. Open species are not done for a profit. So that's kind of like the difference. Good example of these species are fawnlings. Now, I had to look up what a fawnling was on DeviantArt because you said, oh, there's something about fawnlings on DeviantArt.
They look so cool.
It looks like a deer that has an accentuated tail and then kind of like a floof at the end. It very much reminds me of a tail from like Angel Dragon species meets the Protogen species tail. They're super cute.
Fawnlings just reminded me of
Bambi.
No, not Bambi. No, they're kind of similar, I think.
Oh, I guess they're just tails.
They remind me very much of like, look up what a Kirin is. Kirin. It's a mythical creature, but like fawnlings remind me a lot of like Kirins because they're like horse dragons and they're so cool. Yeah, they look very similar, except like, you know, less dragony and more Bambi-y.
You know, I would say like a Kirin is like the steroid version of a fawnling.
Yes. Okay, especially this
more
picture
mature.
Right here. I just found one that like is perfect. I gotta show you.
Is it the one that kind of? Well, I'll just wait to see what you got for me.
Yeah. Let me see. Hang on.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, like that looks a lot
the
like
scales.
I know, they're so cool.
I've always loved like their antlers. I've always loved the black and then kind of like the glowy, like orange, reddish, and blues and purple and pinkish. But like this one looks legit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, like I said, this is like a Kirin, or like but it looks kind of like a fawnling.
Yeah,
like a Kirin and a fawnling had a baby.
Fawnling.
It sounded like a Pokemon announcer. Fawnling.
Yeah, fawnling. So that's really interesting.
Yeah.
Look at all these fun little species. A closed species is a fictional species that is claimed to be owned by someone who limits the way in which new characters can be created. Most, if not all, closed species are claimed to be protected under copyright, but a species is too broad of an idea to be protected by copyright, and therefore they aren't. So it's like trying to copyright someone's name. You can't copyright a name. It's too, like the name John, it's too common to be copyrighted, even though it may be unique. So I've seen people say that they're copyrighted. I don't know if that's true or not, because I almost feel like to do that, you would actually have to go through like copyright documents of law and stuff in order to really pull that off. And who wants to go through that mess?
Yeah, no. That's too much paperwork and
it's too much,
too much, like, I don't know, probably money just involved.
And I think also copyright too, it depends. Like if you're on a website, if you create your own website, depending on who's hosting it, like who the host is, and then you created your stuff on top of it. Yeah, I can see that being copyright because everyone's at the bottom says copyright, and then the year or whatever, but I'm not sure how that really works out.
Yeah.
Nor do I care. And then you get a hybrid. A hybrid is a combination of two or more species. Now, here's the thing. It's species. Hybrids are not hybrids of one hybrid to another hybrid. That's not considered like an original kind of a thing. Hybrids are when you take like a bear, okay, and then I'm just going to say a duckling because you said duckling earlier. A bear and a duckling, and you put those together to create a new species, that would be considered a hybrid.
What would you call a bear duck?
A
buck.
buckling? Or a deerling?
A dur.
No, duckling. A duh? Is that what you said?
No, a dur. Just a dur.
A dur. Yeah, that's actually not bad. I like that. A buck, a buckling, or a deer. A dur.
Somewhat off topic, but like my fiance calls baby deer. She doesn't call them like fawns or anything.
She's like,
she calls them deerlets.
Deerlets?
Yeah. It's the cutest thing. So now like that's what we call baby deer. We're like, oh, look, there's a deerlet.
There's deerlets.
Yeah.
I feel like I do that to a lot of words and things, and people be like, what are you talking about? I'm like, and then I'll pull it up and they're like, that's not what they're called. I'm like, well, they are in my world.
Yep. Oh my gosh. I think a lot of people who like first join like the furry fandom, they'll either go for like, well, let's be honest here, they'll go for
husky,
like a husky or like, some sort of canine creature.
Yep.
Or they will be
Fox.
like, man, I want to be a fox and a wolf. And I'm like, man, that's the same thing. Just be one or the other.
Isn't that just like a fulf? Is that what they call them?
Yeah,
Fulf?
it's like a fulf or something.
I've seen designs and I'm just like, it looks like a fox.
Yeah, I'm like, it just looks like a fox. Like, whatever. I'm not trying to judge here, but
no.
But for example, when I like first joined and was like, oh my gosh, like yeah, I'm a furry. I want to make my own character. So Boomstar used to be, oh my god, I need to find like her very first design somewhere because her very first design was so chaotic. Holy shit! So it's because I was like, man, what can I be? I'm like, I don't want to be like everybody else. I'm like, no, I still want to be a wolf of some sort, but I want to do something cool. And I'm like, what if I did a wolf and a snow leopard? And I was like, wait, what if I added wings and horns to it? She was a mess. I just said that she was a wolf, like snow leopard dragon thing. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
The hot mess.
Yeah, I think everybody either starts off with something simple or they have a hot mess. I was the hot mess furry. And then later on, she kind of like, as I looked at her through the years, I'm like, oh God, child, you're a mess. Let me just revamp you. And then I have several times, and I think I've settled on like a final design for her. But like I said, I haven't like dumped her or anything. Like she's still my character and like my, I guess like a part of me. But I've kind of like moved on to my newest one, who I think is just going to be called Nox. I don't know. I've been kind of playing around with names and stuff like that, but so far their name is Nox.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Anyway,
I was looking up copyrights just real quick.
Yeah.
Because I was wondering, if you take two species and you hybrid them together, can you copyright that? And the clear answer is no. There is no way that you can copyright your species, or you can make a closed species, but it's not officially copyright. So while someone could say, well, I could, sue you for this, there's no weight in court for that to like hold up. So
right.
So that's kind of like not a thing. You can't copyright or you can't copyright. Oh my God, I can't say it. Copyright. You cannot copyright a design of a character or its markings or species. So that's up to debate, but there is something, I'm reading this off of copyright.gov. So there you go. It's the government, at least in the United States.
I think it'd be funny to, I'm so sorry.
No, go for it.
I was just gonna say, I was just thinking, I'm like, I think it'd be really funny if like somebody came up to like a court, like in front of a judge, like, yeah, I need like this character, whatever, like this species copyrighted, or say somebody tried to like quote unquote steal it. Pretty sure that judge would be like, what the fuck is this?
What are you talking about?
Like, what are you talking about, man?
There are murderers and people waiting for convictions, and you come to me with a furry like
come to me with this dog rat.
What is this? Go away.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, okay, go ahead. Continue.
So I was going to ask you, what is a protogen?
Oh, cool. I don't know. No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
Oh my god. Yep, I can't talk either. It's fine. So all right,
It's
so
really
what is a
cool.
protogen exactly? So, according to Furry Friends Wiki, a protogen is an cyborg like. I can't. Goodness.
Do you want me to do it?
No, I can do it. It's fine. Listen, I've been gone forever. It's my return.
It's true.
It's been a trip past couple months. I've missed everybody. Anyway, goodness. So
You
back
got
on it.
this.
I do.
You got this.
Anyway, goodness. So, according to Furry Friends Wiki, protogen are anthro cyborg like creatures, and compared to primogens, they are more mammal like in appearance, sporting a more upright stature.
Stature.
God, I could
I
not.
almost said stature, and I'm like, did I say
Stature?
stature in
What?
there?
That's what I read at first. I had like minor dyslexia. I'm like, what? Anyway, so alongside a shorter, rounder visor that is quite capable of displaying many emotions. Okay, so somewhat off topic. Have you ever played Watch Dogs?
No, but I wanted to.
So I don't play very much, but my fiance does. But there's a character in there called Wrench, and they have like a visor, and it like expresses his emotions through the visor, and it's hilarious because he's such a chaotic being. Anyway,
If
goodness
I had a
gracious.
visor like that at work, I would be fired instantly.
I probably would too. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so it's like a visor like
Thing.
face.
Yeah.
And I guess it says that it might possibly have the ability to display two colors at once in a gradient. Oh, that's neato. I think it would just have a rainbow face all the time.
There's quite a few fursuit makers who do. Well, they make the first two, but the head itself, there's a couple out there that make protogen heads, and they're really cool looking, and they program them as well. So I've seen them go as more as like 3 colors at one time, and it's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool. I
Yeah.
wonder though, like, I would imagine that it would be easier to see out of a protogen head as opposed
Oh, yeah.
to like, because like it's a giant visor, like you would be able to see everything.
That's literally okay. So like Felix and I were watching a video a couple of months ago, and it was about protogens, and they were like, "This is why you should choose a species because you can see out of your first head." I'm like, "What?" And all of a sudden they take the visor off, and I'm like, "That's it? That's all that's on the head? Are you kidding me?"
That's so cool.
Yeah. Well, I hope you're ready for this pop quiz. According to a fandom.com thread, Gamers versus Furries War Wiki, how many types of variants of protogen exist?
Me like searching the notes to see if the answer's in there.
They're not. I made sure that they weren't.
Oh my god. Okay, so you said how many?
Yeah. I'm doing this because someone wrote into our show and they were like, if you guys could be more exciting, that'd be great. And I'm like, I don't know how to be more exciting.
Wow. Okay.
So I'm just like, all right, pop quiz. I'll just do one of those. So throw the host off.
Oh, let's see. Pop quiz. I'm going to say.
I'll let you land between 5 over and 5 under.
Ooh, I'm going to say 6.
A little bit more than 6.
Okay. Is there 8 of them?
I'd say they're in their teens.
Oh shit. Okay, well, 14.
All right, I'll give it to you. So it's 17. There are about 17 variants. But that doesn't mean they're all available.
Oh, okay.
Here's another one for you. I'm
one?
not making these easy. Yeah, I've got 3 more.
Okay. I just realized that I have the internet in front of me. I could just look them up, but I won't. That's cheating.
Could. According to knowyourmeme.com, what year were protogens created? Like, when did you and I create it? Yeah, not the lore. We're just talking like in general.
Okay,
when did they first come to public?
I'm gonna say 2014.
You're fairly close. So it's 2017.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool. Primogens were first, then protogens came afterwards.
When were primogens made then?
Primogens, I think were
Watch them be 2014. That's
2019. No, wait, hold on. That's older. That was something else. I should have looked up. I don't actually know when primogens were created. Probably earlier. I'd say like 2015, 2016 maybe. It's a fairly new species. So, but saying fairly new is kind of weird because it's 2022. All right, next one. If you search the term protogen on Fur Affinity, about how many submissions would you find right now? And I just want to make note that the answer that I'm going to give after her answer is going to be different from the time you listen to this because it's a searchable thing and constant submissions are always going up on Fur Affinity. But as of right now, which is July 26th, how many submissions would you find if you termed Protogen?
Is this including with like the naughty button like activated?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
including that one. The naughty button.
I couldn't remember what it's
The
called.
naughty switch.
Yeah, the naughty switch. That's just me.
I'll give you a hint. It's in the 5-digit range. So it's not
I'm
a
gonna
couple of thousands. It's in like the tens of thousands.
Okay, so I'm gonna say it's gotta be at least like 26,000 something.
It's pretty close.
Is it pretty close?
33,000.
Oh, okay.
If we want to go super like to the T, 33,088 submissions.
Oh, wow.
But of course, that will change by the time people listen and by
yeah.
the time this episode lives on forever. So as of now, 7/26/2022, that is the total amount.
8:32 p.m. my time.
Yeah. All right. The last one's kind of hard.
Okay.
It's actually really hard. And I feel bad for almost doing this. And I tried to create another one, but oh well.
Okay.
I know who this user is. But JTing F, so JTING-F, is most notable on his YouTube channel for creating and programming Protogen heads. But what country is he from? Totally. I thought like you're going to go totally irrelevant to the topic. I'll say it's an Asian of origin.
Oh gosh.
Ends in Wan.
I was going to say, is it Taiwan?
It is.
Oh my god, see, you gave it to me. Like,
I helped you.
What other one it ends in like
I don't think there's any other Asian countries that end in one. I think that's the only one.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I can have like J1, which is Japan and Taiwan, but I don't think that's a thing.
No.
All right. Back to our main topic. I'm going to do this more often. It's
No,
going to
please
throw off
do.
the
That was fun.
co-host. That was fun. Okay, so we know about protogens, but what are primogens? So, according to Wikifur, a primogen are furry cyborgs which most notably have an electronic visor display as a face. Now, that's the same kind of going along with protogens. However, a primogen's facial visor shows computer-generated eyes, nostrils, and a mouth which can move and change shape in response to the character's emotions. Primogen visors forms a long snout shape. Primogens also have 4 robotic ears. Now, to their body, the primogen body plan is a humanoid with very large thighs. I mentioned this before. not while we were recording, but I'm like, these things are thick. These are like chunky thighs.
It's 3 C's.
Yeah. So you know it's serious. And then they have digitigrade feet. Their features are large raptor-like claws on each of their feet. The species is stated to be 70% artificial, only having an organic brain, spine, skin, and fur. But they purportedly also have inactive organic digestive system.
How do they poop?
I don't know. Well, besides that, how do they do the other stuff?
Oh.
Right.
Oh. Well, do they? Well, no, they just have a visor
The other thing
for
is
a face. Do they eat?
They're, I guess you could call them visors, whatever visor mounts, don't open. So I'm wondering, do they get fed through like an IV? Do they get fed through like, I don't know, protons or whatever? Like, do they, or just in space, like the radiation keeps them alive? I don't know.
So wait, maybe they're solar powered.
Oh, that would be interesting.
Like maybe they're solar powered. I don't know, but also like, so like, I've been playing a lot of like zombie based games recently, and I was thinking, I'm like, well, what if they're kind of like, okay, so for example, the zombie like creatures, or what they're actually called in the game that I'm playing, it's called Days Gone, but the creatures are called freakers. Okay, but they are freakers, yeah. Like infected or freakers or whatever. I was like, oh, it's cool. Or like the freaks or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. But honestly, the game is very underrated. I am thoroughly enjoying it. It is so much fun. But anyway, so the premises is that
some poor kid in school is gonna be like,
yeah.
Not a freaker, thank God.
so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But no, so like, I guess like the virus started up, obviously, like, the freakers started out like as people, they got a virus, but this virus made it so like it made their brains like devolve. So instead of them
Oh,
actually dying, they
just
like
become dumber.
they just become dumb, very animalistic, and very savage, and they just start eating people and like just each other. And it was interesting. So like that's kind of like what I was thinking. I'm like, how do the protogens work? Because like how do they feed? How do they work here? I'm assuming they're just solar powered because like they can't eat foods. That sucks.
Yeah,
They can't have
that
any
is
cake.
weird. I'm going to see if the protogen thing tells you how they eat. Now, protogens
They're
can
made of
open their
cake.
mouths, so
Oh,
they
can they?
can eat. Yeah.
Oh, that's neato.
It's just that primogens can't.
Primogens, they just suffer.
Yeah.
Maybe Primogens just kind of do some romance dancing with like
Sausage fingers.
something else.
Have
Sure.
you seen no, what is it? Everywhere, Everything, All at Once?
No, but I've heard of it. Like,
Oh my god, you need to see it. It is so it makes Marvel's multiverse. It just puts it to shame.
does it really?
They do such a good job with splitting the multiverse in this movie. But there's like one multiverse where she's like lovers with another person, but the hands are like hot dog sausage fingers. So, of course, like when they're fingering each other in the mouths, they squirt out like ketchup and mustard
What?
instead of like, yeah, it is.
That's so funny.
It's hilarious. It's weird, but it's hilarious. So I
Oh
highly
my
recommend everyone to go
gosh.
and see because there's something for everyone in there.
I'm gonna have to watch it. That sounds like a trip.
What's interesting is how they get to like she can get powers, but the only way she can get these powers is she has to somehow make a connection to like another copy of her in a different multiverse. And the way that she does that is she has to do something odd, like blow on someone's nose or already chew gum. Or in one
Ew.
case, there were some agents against are coming after her, and the only way they could get theirs was by sitting on a butt plug or sticking a trophy up their butt. So
Weird.
it's just a weird, like the weirdest things happen in this movie, but they're so good and they're so funny.
Oh my gosh.
Highly recommend it.
That's cool.
You will not be disappointed. It's also emotional too, so get ready for like, I'm sorry to say it, mommy issues.
Oh no, I have too much of that.
But it's like in a good way at the very end. It all ends like good. So.
Okay, cool. So it's probably not like mine where I'm like, oh no, I'm really questioning myself right now.
Yeah, no, nothing like that. Nothing like that.
Okay,
No.
cool.
Yeah. Okay. So there's not a lot about Protogen and Primogen. I mean, I did my research, but almost every single website that I pulled up and forum all had relatively the same information. So it was really hard to find like different facts because it was like I'm trying to think what it was. We ripped them apart. I think Sparrow and I did it. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look here.
I need to go back and like listen.
Mannequins.
Oh, mannequins.
It's like mannequins with not mannequins.
Oh my god! What I said mannequins.
Mannequin.
I was
No.
like, wait, that's a weird name. I'm like, that's odd. Oh, manokits. Oh
Can you
my
imagine
god.
a mannequin species? That would be weird.
Wait, wouldn't that just be like Five Nights at Freddy's? Because like they just stay still.
I guess pretty
And then they just
much,
kind of
yeah.
go. No, the same. I don't know. Anyway, go ahead. Okay.
But mannequins, like there wasn't enough information about mannequins to really like be able to verify that the information that we're talking about was actually the information. But we also found a lot of conflicting statements and facts about the species because if you were to think about it logically, none of it would make sense. It just like logically, nothing about the species itself makes sense because everything contradicts each other. It's really weird.
That is weird.
So,
they're cute, though.
Yeah, they are cute. But it's not the case with Primogen Protogens. These ones are way more thought out, but there wasn't just enough information on it. So our last bit is talking about the differences between the two. So in fact, I'm going to plug this real quick. If you want us to do a species off-world, so I have a thing called, where I'm wanting to call it Furries from Space. If you have a species that's not from Earth and grew up somewhere else, please let us know. Yeah, like circles. Freaking cheeseheads. There's like a listener, I don't know if they still listen to us, but they get so mad when we rip on circles.
Oh
So
my
I'm just like,
God.
if you're telling me this, I'm just going to talk about it more.
That's so funny. I made fun of circles when I was at work, like literally like the other day, because we got this weird like cardboard piece that looked like a piece of cheese. So my coworker made it into like a
A
little piece of
circle.
like sliced like triangle piece of cheese, and he put it like on my head, and I'm like, I don't want to be a circle, and he's like, a what?
What?
So I had to show him, and he was like, "What is that?" He's like, "That's weird." And I showed him. There's this one picture on Google. It's super easy to find. Just look up like circle cheese wheel, and it's a bunch of circle heads, like just in a cheese wheel.
Oh my God.
It's great.
I
But
want
I've
to
been,
see someone take like an axe and turn that into a circle because it's pretty much,
oh
I
my
mean, it's
God,
really
just the
thin.
axe head.
Yeah, just the axe head and then like the handles, just turn that, like paint on it and create like a circle. If you do that, I'll have some respect for the species. Not
I love
full,
it.
just some.
That's great. They're very interesting, though. I don't know. They're cool.
Yeah. So
Cool
why don't you
freakies.
talk about what it takes to create a protogen?
Okay, so
So remember, protogens are open species, primogens are closed species. So we're going to talk about what you can do. Like you can do anything you want with the species, but you have to have specific things on it.
oh cool. So just like Dutch angel dragons have like their own like set of rules and stuff.
Yeah, same kind of a thing.
Nice. Well, cool. So, from what you have gathered, it says that they cannot have any dinosaur traits or anatomy. Well,
Because
that's
that
kind of
would be,
sad.
well, because that's because the primogen has dinosaur traits and anatomy. So the two species can't,
Oh.
they're similar, but you can't have what the other species already has.
Oh, that's right, because they have like the raptor claw. That's
Yeah.
cool. Okay, cool. So, hey, don't make your protogen have any sort of dino traits. Sorry, that's a no go.
Womp womp.
Has to have biological ears, so not the robot ears
Yep.
that the primogens had, which actually that reminds me of something. Don't let me defer. Wow, don't let me forget. That's the word. English is hard. Like
It really is. I'm surprised that we can speak it.
English is unnecessarily hard, and honestly, like it's such a terrible language, and I'm
Says
born
people
and
trying to,
raised on it.
I can get why people have such a hard time learning it.
Yeah. I think I would probably like, I don't know, strangle like something if I had to teach somebody how to speak English. I'd be like, I can't. just,
I just
oh my
can't do
gosh.
it right now.
I
What
cannot.
were you going to
Anyway.
say? Don't let you forget. I was going to write it down.
Well, oh,
You forgot.
yep. ADHD, we love it.
So much for our side tangent.
Oh no, I remember.
Oh.
It's fine. I won't forget. It's okay. I looked at the list again. Okay,
Nice.
so nope, it's fine. So yep, gotta have biological ears. You have to have a short snout and a round visor, so you can't be all pointy. Don't be
Nope.
a cheesehead. Can only be bipedal. Is it bipedal or bipedal? Bipedal?
I think either one works. And in case you guys don't know what bipedal is, you are a bipedal person. It's someone who stands on 2 feet
So are pangolins.
or something. A mammal.
Pangolins are cool. Anyway, so you can only be bipedal, no feral forms or hybrid fusions allowed. So don't be mixing your owls or like your ducks and stuff into there. You can't do that. You are not allowed to have wings unless they are of the rare variant. So no winglings, no chicken wing, hot dog, and bolognas.
On the variants, there are common, uncommon, and rare for the protogens. But then, like I said, there's like 17 varieties depending on who you ask. So, and they all range in like different uncommons to commons. So I think rare variants are closed. And I think primogens are considered to be a rare variant, but I could be wrong on that. Let's talk about the differences with the primogen. So primogens have more dinosaur anatomy and traits. Protogens are not allowed to have any of those. That's why they have, paws instead of claws. Primogens are mostly artificial, thus looking more robotic. Primogens have longer faces because of the whole raptor thing. It literally says that because of the whole raptor thing. And protogens have rounded, shorter faces. Primogens cannot eat or digest food nor open their mouths. Now, does it say how they eat it? So protogens can do this and must do it.
Photosynthesis.
Well, see, okay, here's the thing that kind of throws me off. So protogens have organs inside of them, but so do primogens. Well, it said organic properties. So like you said, I don't know how they feed.
Yeah, I would,
weird.
like I said, maybe because they're so like robotic and like cyborg like maybe they just
Plug in.
again they
Maybe
just
they're
kind of
amp
plug
waves.
in, or yeah. They plug in their tail or something.
What if primogens are the species created in like inspiration of amp waves?
I think it
That
might
would make
be. Oh
sense.
God, I think it might be the other way around because I'm pretty sure.
Really?
I think so because, like I said, I had never seen an amp wave until like 2 years ago. So
Oh,
I don't know how accurate that is. We could probably do more research on it, but I think they're neat. Like I'm about to make one because they're just super dope. I also need to get back into art anyway, so I think it'd be a nice little challenge for me. Oh yeah, my laptop's done charging.
nice.
Yay!
Here's an interesting one. Primogens can be hybrids and can also take on feral forms. Interesting. I almost want
Oh.
to know what a feral primogen looks like then.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna look that up.
Because that would mean they'd be on 4 legs, right?
Yes.
Protogens are not allowed to have wings unless they have a rare variant.
They just look like little robot foxes.
Is that what they are?
No,
Oh.
they look cute, but like they're just little like robot foxes.
So protogens can have wings, but it doesn't say that primogens can have wings. It's interesting. It doesn't specifically state that, which is a little odd. Again, the information here is kind of hit and miss. It really just depends on where you get your information from. But primogens are a close species, and it's owned by someone by the name of Malice Risu. Now, that name sounds familiar because I think Manokits? Who created Manokits? I gotta look at this real quick because the name sounded so familiar, but I was trying to figure out who created them. It's probably not that guy, but I'm just gonna double check real quick. I'm just gonna Google it. Who created Manokits?
I just read a sentence. It just says manakits do not have nipples, and although females have false breasts. Okay.
That's nice.
Manokits have no reproductive organs. Okay, how do they...
It's not the same creator.
Oh, they reproduce by using magic to create a manokit fetus inside of a hollow object such as a coconut. That's hilarious.
Right?
What a trip. I love it when people make, like...
So does that mean like a coconut's pregnant then? Or like are they born from a coconut? It's the weirdest... Like, you seriously, if you go and listen to that episode, you'd just be like, damn, Space and Sparrow, you guys ripped them apart. We do it in a comedical way, but it just makes no sense. So the creators are different. I thought they were the same.
Huh.
So Malice Risu owns the species, and at one point you could get a primogen, but it could only be obtained through auctions. You can't create primogens unless you bought it through an auction. However, as of 2019, Malice Risu, aka on Twitter, cool, I don't even know how to say this, Koinu, has closed auctions indefinitely, and primogens are officially off the market.
Oh, well... Interesting.
It happens. Some people, they get really attached to something they created, but they don't want to do it anymore. I understand that. That would make sense. Take it off the market so that way it's special for you. I think I've seen anywhere with protogens and primogens, depending, I think primogens, like minimum reference or to buy a character, started at $1,200. That's so much money.
God.
So furries who are listening, you can create your own fursona, not protogen or anything like that, for free. Or you can try to buy an auction-only rare species, but be prepared to pay and go into debt. $1,200 is not something easy to come by.
No, it's not. Not in this economy. You would have to dump like
God.
so much money into my gas tank.
At least gas prices are starting to go down.
A little bit, yeah, admittedly.
Yeah. All right, so that's pretty much it with primogens and protogens. If you guys want more information, I'll make sure to include the different sites that I visited to make sure that you guys have all the information you need if you want to do your own research. Protogens are really cool. I've actually thought about creating a protogen, but then I think, oh, that's just too much work. So that I don't do it. But they're really cute. I've seen a lot of fursuits that are protogen based, and they're really cute looking. So not as cute as puppies, but still cute.
I do like puppies.
Do you know what kind of puppies I'm talking about?
No. They're just puppies.
Girl. No.
What kind?
Not like that kind of puppy. Oh, don't worry. I get you something.
Hold on. Wait. Which kind of puppies are we talking about, man?
These kind of puppies. Where is your chat?
Like the cute puppies that or are we talking
that kind of puppy.
Hold on.
Just message it.
Oh, yeah, I'm down for that kind of puppy.
Yeah, those are cute.
Those are cute.
Yeah. Every time I see someone in there, I told Sparrow I was at BLFC and I'm like, if I see a puppy, I'm going to freak out and be like, oh, puppies! Because I think they're so cute.
Oh my, see,
Devious in nature, but super cute.
Man, I kind of want to get one of those masks just to throw my fiance off one day.
And I've seen a bunch of the people wear like glasses with them too. And I'm like, oh, you're so cute.
Oh my god,
I just want to cuddle with you.
Oh my god, I'm gonna look it up. How much are pup masks?
Just look up pup play or pup masks.
Pup masks. That's
You can get some super cheap ones on Amazon. You get some
oh
quality
my
ones by
god!
going
You
to
can get like custom
Mr. S
made
Leather.
ones through like a
Yeah.
person on eBay. Actually, that's neat.
There's a lot of cool ones. You can change out the ears or do different types of ears.
Oh, cool. That's neat. I found them on Amazon. They're super cheap. They're like $20. That's cool.
Yeah, so there's some like really cheap ones. They're not gonna be as high quality, but if you want to get into it, you can. Here's one that's kind of a different mask. Unfortunately, it's
Okay, I thought that was you for a minute.
No, that's not me. The gentleman
dang.
is pleasantly plump, but that is not me.
I was just gonna say, I'm like, when did you get tatted? I'm like, dang.
Oh, I get tattoos frequently. I never got a tattoo.
Oh my gosh. I actually have another tattoo appointment this coming Friday, and I'm excited for it.
What you gonna get?
So it's kind of sad. So admittedly, when I left my mother's house in the rush that I did, I couldn't bring my cat that I've had for 16 years with me. And God knows what she has. I don't even know. Because like honestly, like she was getting like really old and like really just not doing the greatest. And like I had every intentions to give her like the proper, I guess, going away sort of like thing. And I wasn't able to do that. So basically, this tattoo that I'm going in for this Friday is kind of like a remembrance memorial kind of thing for me. So she loved to cuddle in her old age, and like, which was super cute. And she would always tuck her head in like the crook of like my neck, like into my shoulder. So I'm going to get cat paw prints, like little rainbow cat like paw prints or whatever, along like that little like crook of my neck, like somewhat chestish shoulder area. Like I don't know what that area is, but like wherever she would just put her cute little head, I'm gonna put a tattoo right there. Because I'm like, man, I miss my key cat. So I hope that she's okay. Like, I don't know. I hope she's all right. And if not, well, I hope that she's okay in the end. And I hope that she understands. But yeah, like I said, it's something kind of sad. But I'm going to get it because she was my baby. My little Patty Peepers.
That's cute.
Yeah, I will have to send you a picture of her. She's so cute. Oh my gosh, I miss her so much. Which, like, it's been bittersweet because my fiance and I were playing the new game that's called Stray. Have you seen it?
Yes, but I have not gotten it yet.
Oh my god. So, like, she got it on, well, it's on my PS4, but, like, she has an account on my PS4 as well because she has her own, but her own is kind of, it's dead. So her account is on my PS4 as well. But anyway, we've been playing that all day, like, today, and it's been really fun and kind of, like, it's been really cute, but kind of bittersweet because I was like, oh, I miss my kitty. But it's been a really fun game. It is really cool that, you know, you just get to be a cat and run around and do fun puzzles and like nuzzle up against like the little robot people and like meow at them, and they have different like facial like emoticons, and it's really cool. But so if anybody hasn't played it yet, please go play the cat game that everybody is raving about. It is
How much is
Stray.
it?
So you can get it digitally. I know you can get it on like PC as well. I think it's around like $30 or $40. It's a pretty big game. Like it's open world. You get to kind of like, you know, run around like.
Have you ever played Saints Row?
No, but I have heard of it.
Oh, girl.
I haven't played like it. I know that it's good.
A game to totally make fun of Grand Theft Auto. Yeah. That is the game.
Okay.
There's all various, but they're coming out with a brand new one in August, and I'm super excited because they've taken customization all the way up and through the roof. Like you can customize everything, which is a first for gaming. Well, kind of, but yeah. Anyways, I don't want to go into details on too much on that.
You're fine.
You guys know how to reach us. If you have questions, you can always email us at talktothemuzzle@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter at FromTheMuzzle. And then you can also find our Telegram group, usually is associated on our, what is going on right now? I'm like choking. Not really choking, like all of a sudden my voice is like weird. I need to drink more water.
Did you go sit out in the sun for a minute, recharge?
Yeah. Our Telegram link is always linked into the episodes. So you guys can always just click on those, and then it should take you to the Telegram group that we have, where a lot of people chat on like constantly. If I don't check it once a day, I'll show like 135 people talking. Not 100 people talking, but like messages. And I'll be like, man, I got to go through all of these and catch up. So sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just kind of scroll all the way to the bottom and just go from there. Well, it was a delight to have you on and have you back.
Oh my gosh, yes, it has been far too long. I have
Yeah.
lots of good news and stuff to share, but we can get to that way later. So, or just sometime soon. But
Yeah,
it's
we
great
definitely
to be
can.
back. I am super happy to be back and definitely in a more comfortable and safer space. So, yeah, I'm super glad to be back and just happy to be here.
If you guys ever have questions for Star, you can always just email and ask
Ask me
Star questions.
questions. I
Anything
miss
you
you all.
want. She can say no, but you can ask anything you want.
I like random questions.
Except for when you accidentally, oh my God, on our last episode that we were doing about fangasms, because it's all about like fan emails, someone had the audacity on PayPal to send us a request for $10. And so they invoiced us. First off, we don't even have a PayPal account associated with any of our Gmail accounts. So I thought it was really weird. We like ripped that one apart. So we're like, how dare you?
Yeah, how about like don't do that, guys?
Yeah.
Like
Ew.
just don't.
Yeah. How about I invoice you? We'll see how you like it. Anyways, that's our topic for tonight. Any last words? Or
I
forever hold
don't
your peace?
think so. Not that I can really think of.
All right.
Don't
Well,
put dinosaurs on your protogens. There you go.
yeah, no dinos on your protos. That sounds really stupid. But anyways, you guys know something about us, and I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, but we'll see you guys on our next episode to be named because I really don't know what we're going to talk about next. Have a good night. Yeah.
Have a good one, all.
Bye.
Bye.